What would you do if your child came home from school one day? Quiet. Withdrawn. Not because of what he did wrong, but because of how he was perceived. What if his energy, his joy, his voice was labeled a problem? This isn't just about one classroom incident. It is about the biases that follow certain children from the moment they walk through the school gates. Today's story is about a mother, a son, and the moment she realized that being vocal while Black could be seen as a threat even in elementary school. But let me ask you, has your child ever been singled out or labeled unfairly by a teacher? Do you believe Black and brown children are disciplined more harshly in school? Share your story in the comments. It might be more common than you think. And if you care about truth, change, and the unheard voices, subscribe to Secrets of the Case. We share stories that challenge the silence and expose what happens behind the scenes. Now, let me tell you about Danielle and her son, Micah. Micah Johnson was 7 years old. Second grade. Bright. Curious. Energetic. He loved learning. He asked big questions. He laughed loudly and shared ideas freely in class. His mother, Danielle, always encouraged it. Use your voice, she would say. Your voice is a gift. She never imagined that same voice would one day be called a problem. It started with a phone call. Hi Miss Johnson, this is Mrs. Halbridge, Micah's teacher. I just wanted to bring something to your attention. Danielle's heart skipped. Is he okay? Oh, he's fine. It's just, he's very loud in class. It's becoming a bit disruptive. Danielle was surprised. Loud how? Well, he talks out of turn. He's always answering questions. Always moving. Always present, I guess you could say. The teacher chuckled awkwardly. Your teacher says you've been a bit loud in class. Can you tell me what's going on? Danielle thanked her and said she'd talk to Micah. That night, she did. Micah. His answer was simple. I just get excited, Mom. I like school. She believed him. A few weeks later, another call came. He's just too loud. Too active. Some teachers are finding it hard to manage. This time, more serious. We'd like to schedule a parent-teacher meeting. We're considering moving Micah's seat or possibly referring him for behavioral observation. Danielle was stunned. Behavioral observation? He's not aggressive. He's not defiant. No, nothing extreme. He's just too loud. Too active. Some teachers are finding it hard to manage. Danielle showed up to the meeting. She expected professionalism. Instead, she got coded language. Micah is very expressive. He dominates class discussion. His tone can feel challenging. He needs to learn boundaries. Danielle finally asked. Is he being disrespectful? No, not disrespectful. Just a bit too much. And then the teacher said it. Sometimes, he just needs to tone it down. He's too loud. That word again. Too loud. But Danielle saw it for what it was, a label. That night, Danielle watched Micah doing homework at the table. Still talking. Still excited. Still glowing. But she noticed the change. He didn't want to speak up in class anymore. He hesitated to raise his hand. He started asking. Am I being too much again, Mom? Danielle felt her heart break. This wasn't just about volume. This was about silencing his spirit. She began researching. She found studies. Reports. Stats. Black boys are 3x more likely to be labeled as disruptive or defiant than white peers, even when displaying the same behavior. They are underrepresented in gifted programs, but overrepresented in disciplinary actions. Micah wasn't loud. He was Black, brilliant, and unapologetically himself. And the world wasn't ready for it. Danielle scheduled another meeting. This time, she came with notes. I'd like to talk about the language being used around my son. The staff looked confused. You've called him too loud. Too much. But you've never said he's disrespectful. Never said he's unkind. Never said he doesn't do his work. His volume, or your comfort? Silence. So what exactly is the issue? They tried to backpedal. It's just classroom management. We didn't mean to. I'm not asking you to change your rules, Danielle said. I'm asking you to check your bias. She requested that all conversations about Micah's behavior be documented going forward. She filed a report with the district's equity office. And she began advocating, not just for Micah, but for every child like him. Word spread. Other parents began sharing similar stories. My daughter was told to be less assertive. My son was labeled aggressive for asking too many questions. They call it energy when it's a white kid, and defiance when it's ours. Danielle started a parent group. She hosted workshops for teachers on cultural awareness and bias. She helped draft guidelines on inclusive language and behavior notes. Micah? He found his confidence again. His new teacher celebrated his curiosity. Let him lead discussions. Gave him structure, without shame. And slowly, Micah began to bloom again. Mom, he said one day, I think my voice is cool. It is, Danielle smiled. Never forget that. Micah wasn't the problem. His voice wasn't the issue. The classroom was just unprepared for brilliance that came wrapped in black boy joy. So I'll ask you. Has your child ever been labeled unfairly by a teacher? Have you seen confidence slowly silenced by a system that claims to uplift? Share your story in the comments. You are not alone. If this story moved you, if it reminded you of your child, your younger self, or someone you know, subscribe to Secrets of the Case. We don't just tell stories. We open case files the world tries to close quietly. Thank you for watching. And to every child who was ever told they were too much. We see you. We believe in you. Keep speaking.